And is to talk to your school principal or counselor about the program. I guess if there isn't an option in your school, you may want to talk to a school board member or two. But I think the idea is to work with the school. As I said, we're in a lot of schools in Michigan. We've helped a lot of schools facilitate and get a program up and running and off the ground. So that's probably the best bet. You can enroll your child directly with us. We do serve some homeschool families, and especially in the summer, we tend to pick up many more homeschool students.
And they get tied to a school district that has
Right.
A virtual school?
Yeah, what we do is we encourage them to have a relationship with their local school to make sure that the credit will be transferable once they've completed the course.
All right, great.
We have a lot of homeschooling families in our area, and what's been really interesting is a number of our schools have courses that they would be interested in taking, maybe 1 or 2 courses through the high school, at the high school, but then do 3 or 4 online courses and then maybe a couple courses through their homeschooling network. And we're actually, I know in our county, and I know other counties are looking at these options for seat time waivers, so that there are, again, talk about learning options. There's going to be options for students to have a different sort of high school experience from a traditional one. And I think that this Michigan Virtual School has opened the doors to a whole new era of opportunity for students, a much more personalized high school program.
And I'll throw this out, either one of you wants to jump onto this. Let's say I'm prepared through the Michigan Virtual School, go on to college. Are there college programs that are similar that this helps to educate them or prepare them for?
Many.
Many?
Yeah, many right here in Michigan. Most of our higher ed public universities have really jumped into online learning, providing a lot of opportunities. And of course, there's national programs like the University of Phoenix that you hear maybe a little bit more about. But certainly, students who have become good at the practice of online learning in high school are really going to have a leg up when they move into the next level.
And those are quite common programs in today's
postgraduate.
postgraduate.
Absolutely, and I think it's an expectation now. I know the graduate classes I've taken in the last couple of years, every single one of them has had a substantial online component where you are expected to go online, read, participate in discussion boards, respond to one another as students and with the instructor. It's something we need to know. Our students need to know how to do. All of our students do. Which is why it's so important that it's a part of our Michigan Merit curriculum, this online learning.
Well, if I could jump off topic just a little bit, just in general terms, we look at the state of Michigan, you know that the Senate and the House and the governor are working through a difficult economy, trying to do the best we can for the budget. Tell me what you think some of the big challenges are in education in the state of Michigan, and more specifically for Washtenaw County, in areas that you personally see as challenging for the state of Michigan.
Well, when I think specifically about our students, I think our biggest challenge is how are we going to personalize and customize our school system so we're meeting the needs of every single student, every young person. How are we going to do that effectively and efficiently with the system that we have? And I think that our challenge is by putting the students at the center and making sure that we are customizing an education for them, that we are able to adjust the system so that we can meet their needs. And that, I'll just give an example. So we're talking about this online learning as one option. What are other options that our high school students need to really be prepared for college? I know in our county we have 90% of our students go on to college. We do a survey every year and we follow up to see if that's what's happening. Yet when you look back and see how did they do on the ACT test, what courses are they taking, many of our students are not yet prepared. They're going to college, but they haven't done all of the work that they really need to be prepared for college. And so we have a lot of students need to take classes over when they get to college. So I think we have a huge challenge in making sure that we find a way to personalize and have a very high quality high school curriculum or program with lots of choices for our students. And that's a big challenge.
Sure it is. Don, what do you think?
I think that Naomi's kind of hit it on the head. I think our graduation rates need to improve. I think that we need to take these innovations like online learning and ramp them up so that students get more involved. And many times online learners will tell us that they feel like they kind of own their education as opposed to showing up and having it done to them. I think opportunities such as what we were talking about off the air with middle colleges or chances for students to complete some college credit prior to graduating from high school is going to get them further ahead, get a foothold. And I really think that we have to look very carefully at where we are with this implementation of our Michigan Merit Curriculum. The class of 2011 will be the first group to have to meet all of those requirements. And we're finding in talking to many schools around the state that there's some pretty heavy-duty challenges in mathematics and English for these students. And so how are we going to get these students not to just earn the credit, but to really understand the content that's going to be necessary to build that foundation? So those are the kinds of things that we're working on with a lot of educators around the state.
Yeah. And it is exciting for me watching that there's so many different kinds of opportunities. We talked before we went on about my wife, who was formerly a science teacher and spent her career in alternative high schools and teaching sciences, and now she's the dean of students at Monroe Middle College, which is talking about some of the same concepts you are, where you take a high school and merge a curriculum with a 2-year program specifically in health sciences, and you end up with a health career in 5 years with a 2-year degree versus a high school diploma. And Don Spencer and his team at the Monroe ISD has done a good job in championing that. And I know the Washtenaw Middle College has. I've worked with them in the past before. So it's exciting to see these different things, whether it be technology or whether it be learning ideas or merging things happening. And I know that the Washtenaw County superintendents, school board members, assistant superintendents have about a quarterly meeting with the Washtenaw County legislators. And there's usually somewhere around 30 or 40 of us there in total. And that interaction is important, because if we as legislators don't understand what's happening in the learning/teaching community, how are we supposed to create the right legislation? But we're just about out of time. And I had a great time talking and learning with both of you today. Naomi, it was very nice to see you. Naomi Norman from the Washtenaw County ISD. And of course, Bob Currie from Michigan Virtual Schools. We certainly had a good time learning from both of you today. And I thank you all for joining us today so that we could share with you some things happening in Lansing in and around the 17th District. This is State Senator Randy Richardville saying goodbye, and thanks again.